Marine and Environmental Resource Task Force Advisory Committee for the town of Fort Myers Beach. I apologize to all of you waiting out there in TV land. We had some technical difficulties, but we are starting, and it is 10:10. So with that, I am calling the meeting to order. Could everyone please rise and give the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to start a very slow roll call. Starting with Rob. Rob Howell.
Rob Howell, present.
Jennifer Rusk, present.
Dave Nussbaum, present. At this point in time, I would also like to introduce our new member, Todd Zaccanelli, who is filling in.
Todd Zaccanelli, present.
You have to give your present.
Sharon Hegstrom, present.
Eddie Rude, present.
Bill Altoff, present.
Okay, we're all here. This is, quorum is established. And with that, I will take a motion to approve the agenda as published. Mr. Rude, did you
Yes, no, Dave, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an item.
turn your mic on?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an item to the agenda, if nobody objects. It's my understanding that you presented the award to the council after last month's meeting, and I wanted for you to fill us in how that went, and then I had a couple of questions that I wanted to discuss and get some opinions.
Okay. Is there a second to Mr. Rude's motion?
I think, would that be under members' items? I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Well,
but
it may
just-
be something that winds up after discussion, there may be a motion and a vote.
Okay.
That could still be done under
That could
members'
still be
items.
done under members' items.
It can't.
Yes. Do
Okay, well then it's up to you to decide, Dave. Whichever,
you want to bring it up under members' items?
it doesn't, it's fine, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, then you want to withdraw your motion?
Okay, but I withdraw the motion.
Okay.
I would like to add to the agenda the MRF budget, please.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
I will second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of amending the agenda to include the MRF budget, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We'll put that under new business. All right.
Can I request that it's before the Arbor Day?
That's fine. I have no problems with that. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. All right. So with that, did we take a vote on that? All those in favor again say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Approval of the previous meeting minutes.
Motion to approve them as written?
And I second it.
I would like some discussion on that before we have a motion. And just for clarification, it's not to embarrass anyone, I just want to make sure that we don't offend any of the people that have patronized the projects that we've had here. And it was not included in the minutes, and just for the record, Member Rusk was asked if there was a problem diverting any of the funds that had been contributed towards the coloring books, and her response, and I'm paraphrasing this, is no, I don't think so. So I would like to note that the board, and that wasn't just one individual. A couple had the same question, and we had a discussion, and we didn't mean to belittle the sponsors that were out there or to disregard the intent of their thing, but it wasn't included in the minutes, and I just wanted to make it for the record that we did ask, and we wouldn't have taken the vote had we thought there was a problem with it. So I would like that included, or at least that discussion included as we approve the minutes, because I didn't mean to take anything away, and I don't think any member of this group wanted to take anything away from the intent of what was donated, and we were kind of operating on Jennifer's committee, member Rusk's comments, and she further got it clarified from the donors, and so if there was any intent that we displayed that belittled them, I apologize, but it was in the recording and in the minutes, so.
Just to clarify, what I recall, and when I went back to watch the meeting, you had asked, was this money intended when given for the coloring books? And I said, I believe so, yes.
But you also stated, and I went back and read it, I said, is there any problem with it?
Can we continue this discussion under the?
I just want to have the minutes corrected.
Yeah, I haven't seen the minutes, so may I look them over?
They're not in this minutes. That's my whole
But the
point.
minutes in general, can I look over? May I?
Jim?
Oh, thank you.
They don't refer to it at all.
Well, they paraphrase a lot. I mean, they can't put in every single thing into the minutes.
I understand. That's all I'm saying.
Would it be prudent to just, for the bit of discussion in question, have whoever writes these out to go over the video that's on YouTube and just do it word for word, just to be clear on everything?
I think that would probably be prudent.
That would be, I think it would just iron it out, because I do think there was a lot of question, confusion, back and forth, where a lot of careful words were trying to be chosen, not by everybody with it, because we didn't really know how to speak, but it will also come up today during the budget discussion. So as far as the minutes for last one, we just have a rewatch.
And again, my intent on bringing it up was only to
Clarify.
clarify it and go back to the people that donated the money and state, had there been any
We just want to make sure they're not
reason, any reason
misrepresented.
at all not to do that, we would not have taken the step.
Right.
That's my only purpose behind it. And I said, this is not to belittle anyone or throw anybody under the bus. It's strictly to go back and go to our two patrons that donated money, or three, and say, geez, you know, we were led to believe there wasn't going to be a problem. Now that it's been identified, you know, I just want to go back and have that noted in the minutes before we move on. So with that, do you want to make that a motion to go back and redo the minutes, Rob?
Yeah, I motion to have that I can't quote the specifics, but that discussion rewatched and evaluated to then update the minutes from last meeting,
Okay, and I'll second that.
just so there's no question about specifics there.
Okay? Motion made and seconded to republish the minutes, and we can approve them at our next meeting. Okay? Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. So with that, we're now on to public comment. Okay, seeing the massive people in the crowd, probably not going to have a public comment, so thank you. I'll close public comment. Current items. First item on the agenda, on the amended agenda, is now the MERF budget.
And I'll go ahead and start that off. So I gave you all a packet, and it was in, this packet is basically just to kind of start off the conversation of the MERF budget. After the vote that was made at the last meeting, in regards to keeping some of the money to go towards Arbor Day, I did speak with one of the people that contributed some of the money, and they had pointed out that on the checks that they felt that the money that was given was specifically for the coloring books. So the first page is from the $4,000 contribution from the Community Foundation, and they talked about it on FortMyersBeachTalk.com in regards to that money going towards the children's book. The second page is a copy of the check, and these were provided to me by Joe, our financier. And that was a check for $2,325 from the Fort Myers Beach Chamber and Water Foundation. And as you can see, I highlighted it, that it was for Fort Myers Beach Feathers and Flippers books. The next page is a copy of a check from the Alex King Group for $300, and I highlighted it so you can see that it was for the MERF coloring books. The next page, you'll see another check from Raymond James Global Account. This is also from the Alex King Foundation, and it is also, I highlighted it, it's under memo for the MERF coloring books. And then the next page is made out to Fort Myers Beach MERF, and this was the $4,000 that was given for the children's coloring books. So when you add it all up, what we have in MERF, not including, I believe you had said at the last meeting someone was giving $500 to go towards the awards, your awards?
That was being donated to the, I believe it was being donated to the Friends of Little Estero Island to purchase additional MERF awards for the presentation of to-be-announced MERF recipients at the time.
So the beginning of the year, we had $307.92. It rolled over. That was money from contributions to go to last year's children books, 11/25/24. $4,000 given on 5/1/25 MERF donation, but that was from the Community Foundation. $2,325 was given to MERF Fins and Feathers books to be printed, and $2,300 from Alex King. That equals $8,932.92. On the next page of the packet that I gave you is an invoice, and that is to Miss Macy Knoll, who is the one that basically did the book for us. That $180 was to go to, if you go to the last page, to change the last page of the book to include the Fort Myers Beach, to everyone that, we want to thank. Wanted to thank the library. The library is going to be storing the next batch of second edition of the book. And so we wanted to thank them. And then also you've got the Fort Myers Beach Chamber's Water Program Foundation, their logo and their QR code, along with Alex King's QR code and logo, Crow's QR code and logo, the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation logo and QR code, Turtle Times logo, and QR code, and Mound House's logo and QR code. So minus 180, you have $8,752.92. If you want to pass this down, this is the, I forgot to include this in the packet, but this is from Panther Printing, and this is the quote that was given to me for 20,000 books, and that comes to $8,716.44. So you minus that, and you have $36.48 left remainder in the MERF budget. If we were to proceed with printing the 20,000, I think ethically, because these foundations gave the money in good faith that we were going to do the coloring books, I believe that we should make a motion that that we print 20,000 for the cost of $8,716.44. I think ethically it would be the nice thing to do.
I can second that.
The $300 a few months ago that was donated by the Friends of Little Estero Island, is it in the budget, in the MERF budget?
I was only asking the financier, Joe, for checks that were to MERF for the ones that I knew of, the 4,000 I knew of.
So it's not
It may
accurate
still
to the
be.
total budget?
Right.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the budget the checks that I received for the children's books.
And the question I have is on the check from Patricia Almond for $4,000. Where does it say for the coloring books? though?
Turn your mic up, Bill.
Oh, sorry. The check for $4,000, the Patricia, Coleman? Anyhow, where does it say it's just for the coloring books?
Well, it doesn't.
Other
It
than
says
just donation?
MERF, but it was reported that the money was given, that's what the first page is. So that $4,000 check came from the Community Foundation, and had been reported that the money was going towards the children's books. So I believe their understanding is that's what they were giving the money to us was going to be used for. And I'm not against the Arbor Day and the trees. I think that's a great idea, but I just think that as a committee, we should honor and it would be the ethically right thing to do would be to print the books with the money that was received to MERF.
My only concern is if we take it down to $36, are we sure we're going to end up with a positive $36? Or that we're not going to overspend the cash on hand?
Well, the $36.48 is what I did.
I understand
Not
that.
including the money that maybe was given to the town, to MERF for other reasons.
So we don't have a financial accounting of what we have in our checkbook to date.
Well, I mean, Joe, the finance guy, gave me the checks, so that's,
Okay, he gave you the checks, but what I'm getting at is,
and he also sent me
we
this.
have a budget, Chad, and I don't wanna overspend the budget.
Well, there's two separate budgets. She's just the 36 is what's left over specifically for what she added up that she knows was for the books.
I
There's
understand that.
more money that's in our budget that's not specifically for the books, right?
I don't know that.
Okay, but I would just like to make sure that we
Well,
don't
this-
go up and to Will at the end of the year and say, oh, by the way, we overspent our budget by $3,000. We're sorry, we didn't stop and look at what we had spent prior to this point. You know, if we paid everything and we've got the money in hand to do it, I have no problem with that. I just want to make sure
The
we don't
money is
overspend.
there, it's in the budget.
Okay, But did you get a reconciliation of where we are in the budget?
I did prior to the last two checks that were entered into the town's account, MERF account, which is $2,300.
Okay.
But they sent me the checks, and Joe said that we've got the money. In
Okay.
fact, I actually had to get them rewritten because they wrote it to MERF instead of the town of Fort Myers Beach.
Okay,
So we're an advisory council. We can communicate the intention of the MERF committee members via motion, and then that can be examined by staff, and the council has the powers of the purse to spend the money after after staff looks it over.
yeah. And again, I have no problems with buying the 20,000 coloring books, because that's the money, I just want to make sure that we don't spend the money that we don't have.
It's been
That we
known
spend
it's
the
been known
money
to
we
happen.
don't have.
Yes, understood.
I mean, that's all I'm trying to prevent, so we don't go up and say, gosh, we ordered 20,000 books, and we only have enough for 15,000, or
Yes, sir.
18,000, or
Understood.
whatever. That's my whole point.
sir.
From the finance department, I received a calculation, and this was as of 8/20/25, and this is from the town. And we had $6,632.92. And then you add the 2,300 to that, which makes it $8,932.92. It's right here.
Okay, but we don't have anything from the town updating it today.
Oh, no, correct.
That's my point. I'm fully in support of everything you're recommending. I just want to make sure that we have
The money in the
enough
account.
money to cover what, we want to make sure we can cover the checks we're going to,
I did speak the last time I was here with Joe, and when I handed the checks, and I asked him, can I go ahead and print the books now? And he said, oh yeah, the money's in there.
okay,
So he did tell me verbally that the money was there for me to print the books.
okay. Can we get, I still would like to get something before we put it in. How many books do we have on hand right now?
I have only 2 boxes, and those are reserved for the upcoming sand sculpting.
Okay,
Oh, but other people have them. You can still get them from the library and other locations. The chamber has them.
okay,
In my possession, I have 2 boxes, which I'm reserving to, because I'm sure we'll give them all out at the sand sculpting event.
okay. Even if we put the order when we couldn't have them for the sand sculpting, which starts next weekend, correct?
Yeah, I think we perhaps could, but I don't know for sure. I can't say yes or no, but it would be great to have them for the sand sculpting. But I needed to wait for this meeting so everyone could give me the go-ahead.
Well, and again, I don't discount anything you're saying. I would like to make sure that we have the cash in the bank before we
Well,
order the books.
The cash, the money is in the bank.
If you order half the books now, and
Then we are spending more money, because the more you order, then the less they are.
okay, well, we have a motion on the floor and it's been seconded. So if we vote to release the money, we're going down to a $36 balance, which, hopefully is there. So with that, is there any further discussion?
Well, now this is just my calculation. Like Mr. Root said that he or his foundation had donated money, so the 3648 is just my calculation from the money that I raised.
So could I make a suggestion possibly? If we make a motion and we vote on this, Is it possible that the vote is contingent upon getting a balance sheet from Joe, which probably wouldn't take a couple of days? What Jennifer's presented is not a budget. What Jennifer's presented is not a budget. What she's presented is an accounting of what she's collected versus what the expenses are just for her coloring book. It's not a budget. It's not the MERF budget. So I think it would be a relatively simple and quick process that would probably only take a couple of days to just have Joe to verify what the balance would be after she pays for the coloring books.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but the town's not going to write a check for $8,716 to Panther Printing unless the money is there. So it's not like they're going to hand over money that isn't there.
Okay, well then, that puts a little bit different light on it. I didn't realize that Joe was the one that was writing the check.
No, our finance department will be writing the check.
So, Chad,
Yes, sir.
if we have a budget and there's enough funds in the budget, or that we have budgeted and we're still in a positive position to write a check for, what is it, 8,000, whatever the amount is? 8,760. If there's enough money in the account to cover that authorization to buy the books, will the finance department of the town write the check?
I can review the proper procedure with the finance department and get back to y'all.
Okay, and let me ask it a different way. If there isn't enough money, will they write the check?
I doubt it.
Okay, so then would you revise the motion to spend the money if there is money in the budget, for the books, and if not, to return it back to the committee?
Yes, I'd make a motion that provided that the Treasury writes the check, then I'm good with it.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Discussion.
So this isn't my first rodeo ordering these books, and the finance department had paid for the first edition of books out of our MERF budget, and I'm pretty sure that's how they would pay for these books is, our town is, we didn't ask for any money from the town. We graciously were given money from our community, and the town's not going to write a check for $8,000 or over $8,000 if the money wasn't there.
Okay, well, that's what the motion stipulated.
So I can't order these books until I hear from Chad.
How long do you think that'll take, Chad?
I would imagine sooner than later, but we're all busy, so I'll talk to our finance director and just make sure we're following proper procedure and money's there and no worries.
Okay.
Yep.
Can we get something done within 48 hours?
I can get back to y'all within 48 hours, absolutely.
Thank you.
I just feel bad asking for our town resources and staff to have to they wouldn't allow me to order these books. I just give the go-ahead on the amount, and then they have already a contract with Panther Printing, I'm sure with others too, but they already know what they're doing. They have POs and purchase orders ready, and, I just,
And it should be pretty simple. Yeah, no worries. If that's the case.
yeah, if you don't mind going to the extent, then, but we never did that before, so.
I understand.
The committee just said, okay, go ahead, order these books, and, and then the town probably took the money from the MERF account and paid for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I was involved in that process, so I'm just hesitant to commit to that.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay?
Yay.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm a nay too.
so, we have a 4-3 vote. So, Chad, if you could honor the split wishes of the committee and try and find out as soon as possible if we have funds to cover it, then we can be on our way.
Yes, sir, will do.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to Arbor Day. Couple of things. And first of all, I was very excited that we were moving forward and contacted a bunch of nurseries on Pine Island. And to date, have received one response saying, let me talk to the owners. That was several days ago. So I'm getting a very cool response on that. So I'm not sure we're going to get a lot of traction from any of the nurseries locally. I also did some looking, and even the youngest trees are going to be somewhere between $75 and $125 per tree, which is, not cheap, but it's going to be costly, and we're not going to get a lot of trees. So I'd like to point out a couple of things to the committee. The Arbor Day in Florida is in January, and they have it in January because the trees can be planted in a cooler climate and get their roots established. Normal Arbor Day is in April for the National Arbor Day. So my thought was perhaps, and I just wanted to bounce this idea off of the committee and see what their thought was. Kathy Turner, who's president of the Garden Club, was on Beach Talk Radio Saturday and came out, handed out a list of all of the trees that survived and recommended plantings survived. And I thought if we could look at possibly getting the seeds for the correct trees to plant, and that includes, sables, royal palms. They had 2 or 3 other palms listed on their recommended plantings. And if we could provide the seeds and potting soil to the garden club and see if they couldn't take it on as a project to grow a palm for the island, and we could plant it in a year. We could approach the garden club. One of the things that she discussed was, their membership was getting older and is not as active, needed more volunteers. And I thought, what a great way for each member to go and try and germinate a palm for the island and then donate it to the town for different places. But it would take a year at least to get the thing going. The other thought was for this coming Arbor Day in April is to get the town and say, if you'd like to donate a tree in memory of someone that has passed away, we could take that and an individual could go out and buy $100 or $150 palm or buttonwood or gumbo limbo and have it planted at one of the town sites in memory of someone, you know, that was on the island or just someone that was a close relative, or just a memorial tree.
I love both those ideas, or all those ideas. I would still like to have a Florida Arbor Day event, and I can get that together and get back to y'all on that.
Okay. How does everyone feel on that as far as approaching the council and seeing if we could get their blessing on either one?
How many trees are we talking about, Dave?
Yeah.
How many trees would it take to have the event? Are we talking about a dozen trees or 50 trees, or what are we talking about? on these
Oh,
100
from
on these
memory, and this is
$100?
pre-Ian, so it was 5+ years ago. I think we got, maybe 150 trees, like 75 of one species and 75 of another. Like gumbo limbos and maybe sea grapes we did. But there's no, it could be one tree that we're planting and have an event together, and maybe some smaller sapling giveaways. Would be a great thing, as much as we can afford. And I don't think there's any necessarily magic number that needs to be hit. But
Well,
it just-
is there a possibility that between now and January, in the 6 weeks' time or 7 weeks' time, that we could get some private donations to pay for some of the trees?
That sounds like a great idea, Mr. Ed.
I can't imagine why it would hurt to ask, and then we would know before Arbor Day, what we were doing, if we had 1 tree or 10 trees or 40 trees.
So maybe over this next month, we can put our heads together and try and pull something together and have it for next meeting.
Yeah. I can,
Arbor Day is not till January 16th, so we have a little bit of time.
right,
So we actually have about 8 weeks.
yeah, we're correct.
Yeah.
And and I'm not holding your feet to the fire on this, but how many town areas, like access points, so on and so forth, are in need of trees? Just a rough estimate,
All of them.
okay?
So-
So,
We planted 75 royal palms over at Bay Oaks, and we're going to follow that up with some canopy trees to intersperse in there. All of the beach accesses are on the list to get trees. We do have another FDAX grant that I'm working on, and need to work on that one actually has a match associated with it, so that's a little bit more homework for me. But we have some options.
okay. All right. Excellent. Well, does anyone have any reservations about me reaching out and contacting the garden club to see if they would like to start a palm germination program for the town?
Just if we can get together on a conference call or get an email thread going with me in there, I'd appreciate it, just so I
Okay.
can be in the loop.
Very good. Anybody have any?
Dave, you said you would talk to nurseries. Did you talk to any landscapers who may have a better relationship with nurseries?
No, I did not, but that was my second round. I
Okay.
kind of blanketed a lot of nurseries on Pine Island, and I only got one response back from one guy who said, "Let me talk to the boss." But I'm sending it out under my personal Gmail account, which probably spammed a lot of. I went into the spam folder, I'm sure, on some of them, but.
Okay.
But yes, I can reach out to a lot of the local planters and see what they have.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, that's my report on Arbor Day. Next on the agenda, and I just want to bring it up so we continue to remind everybody on the island that the hazardous waste collection date is February 4th, 2026 at Bay Oaks. And again, Chad, if the town, I realize we're looking for a new PIO soon, but if we could start blasting that out just as on a weekly basis to continue, because not everybody checks their advisories. But I think this is one of the best things we can do to help the environment of the island. I know I've got a couple of paint cans that I want to get rid of, and I'm just one guy. You multiply it by everybody on the island, and I think if we can get everyone to get rid of it, it will help the environment immensely.
Yep, I agree. I think, whenever, after we've gotten overwashed a few times, you start to realize anything that's stored below flood ends up diffusing into the environment. So the more stuff we can get out of the flood zone and off the island and not dispersing into the environment, should we have another surge event.
Okay. Excellent. Anybody else have any discussion on that?
I would think,
I had a discussion though, to the Arbor Day. I know we went on, but I just had a question. Is there any way that we can maybe start growing, maybe for the Arbor Day at Newton Park?
I believe we have a RFP out for that. I'm a little hesitant to commit.
No, not, I guess I'm asking for the Arbor Day, to start some seedlings and use that property or Bay Oaks, an area that we could,
I'm sure we can find, an area. We can take a look and get some things going. I can ask, but
that might be something you might,
I wouldn't want to commit. Yeah, Newton Park's going to hopefully be under contract soon. I think they're maybe, I don't know if it's just design right now or if it's construction, but I know I saw a RFP, so I wouldn't want to commit Newton Park. And typically you kind of, if you're growing those things, you want some greenhouse shade kind of thing, so it's a little more protected. But it's a great idea. I've fantasized about having a town nursery and that kind of stuff before, so we'll have to look into space.
Oh,
thank you.
okay. Next up. Rob, you're up.
Got the final turtle-friendly viewers with the film inside the viewer that does not let it allows the negative wavelengths through, but it stops the wavelengths that the turtles can see in. So if you are a beachfront property owner, or even if you're back on the other side of a stero, and you are getting questioned about your lighting, you can get one of these, go out on the beach, and if you can see your property through this at night, then those lights are not in compliance, and it's kind of a way to be ahead of things for next year. So, and then you can also keep these all year round. But
I'll just caveat this. I think it's a great educational tool. It's a great way to pass things out and let people recognize it. It is not an end-all be-all. It's not. I don't want someone to go up and I can't see it and therefore it's okay. The spectrometer that the town staff has is the scientific tool that we can really determine whether or not it is true wavelength with no shorter wavelength light below that 560 nanometer mark. But I do think this is an excellent tool for people just to educate people and get out there, look at your property, and see if there are any red flags out there that you can see.
my big worry is please don't be going at your neighbors or other people, about it. It's not like just Chad said. It's not the end all be all. It's a tool to help. So if you want to help educate others, do it in a kind, positive way. Don't be coming at
Right.
anybody.
And Chad, as you once told me, there are people shouting on the beach, there are people talking on the beach, and people whispering on the beach.
Yes.
And if this helps some of the shouters, at least it's a crawl, walk, run type thing, you know. We
Yep.
we can
Bless you.
identify some of the more blatant issues on the beach and then start fine tuning from there. So I think it's a great method to get rid of the shouters in the crowd, and then we can, you know, keep working down to get to a point that, you know, we can actually, you know, be beneficial to the nesting season of the turtles.
Yep, and just so if anybody's wondering what he's talking about, so it's just an analogy, just, you know, there's bright lights that we want to tackle first, and then you turn off those lights, and then another, you know, set of lights all of a sudden becomes visible to you, and it becomes apparent that those are also issues. But until you get those bright lights out, you may not be able to see those dimmer lights and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit of a triage analogy that he's referring to, just in case you were confused about who's shouting at who on the beach.
But these are excellent. The idea, you know, I saw the one from, I think it was Broward County on the other side, and they had a little square about the size of this turtle, and this is a much bigger viewing optic
That would help.
that I think will help. And again, it's a tool. It's not an end-all, it's just a tool.
One last thing about these, there is some information on the back. It does have the Turtle Time Inc. phone number, contact information, website, and all that. But something to be very clear of: if you find a sea turtle, hook a sea turtle, the report goes to Florida Fish and Wildlife first, and then they will reach out to Turtle Time Inc. or whoever else needs to respond. But both those informations are on there. Turtle Time information is on there to get more information to educate yourself, but reporting wildlife always goes to Florida Fish and Wildlife. Yeah.
Rob, the plastic coating doesn't affect the readings, does it?
Not that I could tell. I did think about that, and I messed with it a couple of times, even different layers of it, and it didn't seem to change it
Okay.
at all. No.
Good.
Any other discussion?
Yes, I have some things if that's okay
Yeah. On this item?
for sea turtle conservation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, I don't know how long ago it was, but on the order of a year, maybe plus, we got direction from council on how to, our policy for how to apply our ordinances. We have our sea turtle conservation ordinance, and we also have our lighting standards ordinance. And the direction that we got was that if lights, exterior lights specifically, are directly or indirectly visible from the beach, the Sea Turtle Conservation Code would apply. So, and then if the lights are not indirectly, are directly visible from the beach, then the Lighting Standards Code only would apply to reduce the cumulative lighting impacts on the beach. So with that, staff, reviewing properties, we would caveat, we did not really have a policy in place to review single-family homes landward of the CCCL. We do have that in place with the Sea Turtle Conservation Ordinance waterward of the CCCL. So lighting standards and Sea Turtle Conservation Code do apply to all properties on the island on Fort Myers Beach. So there's been some, we had a tough year. We had a lot of disorientations, and we have a lot more open area that's not shielded by structures and shielded by vegetation than we did in the past. With the volume of work, not necessarily with permitting, but just in general, with the volume of work, staff would caveat all permits that were issued on the beach with, you shall comply with the Lighting Standards Code and you shall comply with the Sea Turtle Conservation Code for the houses that were landward of the CCCL. And hoping that the contractors, knew the code and would do their lighting accordingly. It's not always the case, and we have some issues, and we're addressing those issues. But as a pivot or as a response to, hey, we're asking people to follow the code and condition these permits accordingly, but not really having a process on the back end to go and inspect it. I'm trying to get rid of the headaches on the back end and start reviewing the lighting for the exterior lighting for houses that are landward of the triple CL on the front end to get rid of that headache on the back end. So there has been some, I don't know if you want to call pushback or questioning, and I get it. It is a new procedure, but it's nothing new in terms of the code. So we're looking at, one of the things that we're seeing a lot of are these linear vertical lights that are 1,600 lumens that are not necessarily fully shielded and full cutoff as the lighting standards require, and they're bright and they just push light straight out. So there's another, the LEDs, there's things are adjustable, etc. But just to give you an idea, if a light, the lighting standards code says if all lights shall be fully shielded and full cutoff unless it meets one of these exceptions. So if it's not fully shielded and not full cutoff, then it should be under 260 lumens. So whenever you see a light that's not fully shielded and full cutoff that's 1,600 lumens, there's a big difference there. And even if it's partially shielded, it still has to be under 1,000 lumens. So, we're going to be reaching out to contractors more and more, and I think with the Coconut Telegraph, kind of the word's already out on the street that we're looking at lighting. We're trying to reduce the cumulative effects of lighting, and so that is happening, and also. Just get the word out, with the condos, get the word out that we are going to be scrutinizing the lighting a lot more. Multifamily and commercial buildings are under more scrutiny for their exterior lighting than the single-family homes are. Single-family homes that are waterward of the triple CL, on the Gulf side of the triple CL as well, are under more scrutiny than ones that are on the other side of Estero. But given things that are so open right now, a house that's on the landward side of Estero is still directly visible from the beach, and we are approaching it accordingly, and they will be subject to the Sea Turtle Conservation Code when they're directly or indirectly visible from the beach. Another issue that we're noticing, especially from the disorientations and just what we're seeing pop up on condos specifically, that I need to get with you on, Mr. Nussbaum. You're the condo association president of the condo associations?
No.
Not anymore?
No, I'm a member. I'm a member of the condo associations of Fort Myers Beach.
Right.
But that meets monthly, and it's just all of the board members or presidents of condos that choose to join. But it's a very good representation of the beach.
Right. So one thing that we're, fan lights. Fan lights have been an issue where the fans, it's very difficult to shield a fan in general, and it's even more difficult to shield a fan from being visible from the beach that's at a downward angle from that fan. You just can't build something long enough on a 9-foot-high lanai to properly shield a light. So I've been in talks with STC, Sea Turtle Conservation, and they've given me one fan that does have a shielding built into the light, and I'll be passing that on to the association. And I'm saying this because whenever we do a exterior lighting plan review of a condo, those individual condos are not, it's not all one property. Those are individual properties in those lanais. So I don't necessarily get a review of those individual properties that have lanai lights, be it wall sconces, fan lights, ceiling lights, etc. So, and what, sometimes they're asking the question, what should we do? But a lot of times nobody's asking, and lights are popping up, and especially these fan lights. And it's a concern because, one condo comes online, and all of a sudden it's dozens of lights, if not, hundreds. It's a lot of lights that all of a sudden are coming on, and people are, redoing it. And I'm trying to get ahead of it. So,
What I would recommend that we get you on the agenda, and I can reach out to the secretary of the condo group and see if we can't get you on either a Zoom meeting or a meeting, and have them, you can bring your card and also bring in, I know every condominium has different declarations and different rules in ours. The association is responsible for the fans and the lights on the lanais. So we just pretty much put turtle lights in and said, okay, it's turtle lights, that's gonna be the light that goes in, no, because we have the maintenance for it. For some, it's an individual owner's responsibility for the lights in their lanai. And again, if there's lights that can go in the fans, and I'm sure there are, because we put amber lights, we put in turtle lights in our fans, it can be done. It's just a matter of educating the people and saying, here's the lights that have to go in.
right.
And I can find out when our next meeting is for the condo association group on the beach and see if we can't get you in. And if there isn't one scheduled, have you do a 1-hour Zoom meeting and just kind of go through. Because we can all Zoom something like that too.
That'll be great. And then also, just an FYI, I got invited to the Sea Turtle Workshop that's going to be at UF next week. So, planning to learn a lot. They've got an interesting agenda, and I'll be coming back to y'all next meeting with the fruits of that workshop.
I think we'll also be there. See you there.
Awesome.
I just wanted to, despite all the inconveniences with pipes and more construction and equipment on the beach, heavy rainfall, beach flooding, et cetera, we had 5,465 hatchlings. 56% emerged from the 113 nests that we had. I'm hoping it's a better year next year.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion, Chad?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to the beach management item on our agenda. And we kind of had a discussion, and I talked to not just people on the 6,000 block, but other people where they were looking, and what prompted this was Chad had a discussion with me regarding the possibility of putting sand fencing up in some of the wider beach areas to act as kind of in the Midwest, we put up snow fences to start snow drifting in places that you want. And we were thinking if we could get an approval to put some sand fencing or some type of sand barricades up in some of the areas where we could trap the blowing sand and create a drift that would help in some of the wider areas bring the low areas up naturally. And Chad and I were discussing it, and I said, geez, if we want, we can bring it up at the meeting and make a determination. Chad, you were gonna look into what FWC or FDEP had to say about it.
Right, yeah. So I still need to reach out to FDEP on that one to see. I feel like I've talked to Solora on that, and it's definitely an option if it's not in sea turtle season. But let me confirm that, and I'd like to get some feedback from y'all on that as well before I reached out.
I know we have a new member here, so could you just tell us what FDEP is?
Florida Department of Environmental Protection.
Where would the snow fences, sand fences, whatever you want to call them, where would they be located on the property? Closer to the water's edge, in the depressions that are out there between the new and old beach, or where would it be located?
Yeah, so if you've been to the 6,000 block, it gets beat up during storm season, fills up with water, wind kind of scours out, and you get a lot of contours that weren't there necessarily whenever during the people season, during the winter season. So I think it makes sense to get something to aggregate sand in those depressions that they could and then rake out. I mean, that beach is somewhat accretional, so it's gaining sand, and I think that'll become even more apparent with all the sand that we did put into the system with this latest renourishment. So somehow keeping that sand on the beach rather than it blowing out if vegetation is not an option, I think that the sand fences would be a great way to try and manage and get some sand into that lower depressional area and try and establish that positive gradient.
I have a question. Do they rake at the 6,000 block of beach management? Do they
Sorry?
rake at the 6,000 block? The beach, do they rake the beach?
Yeah, they rake it and they till it, yes.
It is raked and tilled to preserve the snowy plover nesting area. Snowy plovers look for a flat, non-vegetated beach for nesting, and FWC has given every owner on that section of the beach accolades for the continuing to promote the population of the very endangered snowy plovers.
Yep, so the 8,000 block and the 6,000 block are the only sections of beach where they rake and till it, and then I would say the majority of the beach on Fort Myers Beach is raked, Ms. Rusk.
I don't think it's fair to say they do it for the birds, though.
Sorry?
He said they do it for the birds. They don't do it for the birds.
No, the part of the tilling permit and the raking to remove the vegetation,
It's specifically for the birds?
Exactly.
that's why
Specifically
we,
for the snowy plover?
yes. Yep, they like open sandy areas.
Okay, so until we find out from FDEP, there's not a lot we can do as far as, Bill, you had mentioned at a previous meeting about doing that further down on the beach. Is that something you think further down would be interested in?
When you're saying further down towards the water's edge?
Or further down from the 6,000 block?
Oh, we're all about trying to maintain a beach down there. So if we can do a snow fence, that would be good, but it would have to be in a spot we all agree to. Same as the vegetation. We'd
Okay.
like to put the vegetation in, but we need an agreeable spot.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any further discussion on that before we move on?
And I do commend you guys up at the 6,000 block for the snowy plover nesting. I think that's outstanding.
Another question I had, you had mentioned 501c3 for raising money for sand, or has that gotten any?
I'm working on that. That's on my to-do list after November because it's been
Lots to do otherwise.
I got here in October and I've been nonstop ever since. But after our annual owners meeting, I should get a little more free time.
And as far as just getting a collaborative or a comprehensive 6,000 block beach management plan schedule of activities, for lack of a better term, have you gotten any consensus from all the property owners?
No, and again, I apologize. I've had a lot of issues going
Sure.
on just with the condominium that I'm responsible for, so. But that's one of the things on my to-do list after we get Thanksgiving and our annual meeting out of the way and a few other things. We've had contractors coming in, finishing up, so on and so forth. So I do apologize, but I will get on it.
Yep, yep.
Okay. That takes us to the end of our agenda. Members' items, starting with you, Rob.
I don't really have anything at this time. I mean, besides these, let me know if you want some.
Okay.
I got a bunch.
So I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Who will these be given to? To be
Anybody who wants them.
Okay, so would you have these for Chad? So when he's out there?
Yeah,
would-
I can make
Chad,
them
would
so you
you
can
give
have a
these
few.
out or?
Yeah, I think it would be great for the condo meeting, if I'm there, that would be a great opportunity to pass them out at least to maybe some of the board members and, for each condo and
Sure.
be a great thing.
All right.
Rob, I would like to have a handful of them, too.
Okay.
Me
That would
too.
be outstanding. We're starting to have meetings on site now,
Okay.
and we actually had a quorum here for the first time yesterday.
Nice.
So it's getting there.
Excellent.
Very good. Yeah, so I guess I'll be transparent where some of this came from. The actual filament was provided by Turtle Time, and then the rest of the paper, the laminating, and all that was done with my nonprofit, Keep It Wild.
Okay.
Donated that, so.
Great.
Yeah,
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for the nonprofit.
of course.
And I would recommend that if we put a limited amount at the town, Commissioner, do you think there'd be any problem leaving them there?
I go by Commissioner Gordon now, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't see a problem at all.
Counselor.
I'll get to work.
Rob, you may know this off the top of your head. Is the green turtle now off of the endangered list?
Yeah, so their numbers in the past few years show an incline. So they have went from an endangered to a threatened species.
Okay.
So they have popped up. There's debate within the scientific community if it was premature or not, but it's still the fact that they are uptrending right now is something to be talked about. It's a good thing. So,
It's-
yeah,
That's great.
that's a
Very
good one.
good.
Yeah, we had one at Castle Beach.
Oh,
You're next.
I'm up. Okay. I have a few items. One is the sand sculpting event that's coming up on the 20th, and it goes until, I believe, the 24th. We will be there and have a booth. I have some Turtle Time volunteers, but I need a break, so if someone could please come and at least let me go have lunch, that would be awesome. So I'm asking today if anyone's interested.
I am.
You are, Sharon?
You know I'll be there after work.
And what time would that be?
I'm out at 2:30, so.
Perfect.
take
Okay, I just need
5
to
minutes get
give
there.
your name to the gate, so when you don't have to wait in line, there should be a volunteer table that you can go in
Go right in.
and give your name and, okay.
I unfortunately am running a parking lot for the entire thing, so I am booked.
Okay, and now this is we're just gonna be there Saturday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. So I
Okay.
broke it down in two,
All right, I'll see if I can get out of my duty Saturday at some point, and I'll let you know.
Okay. And it would be a 10 to 1 or a 1 to 5, so, or whenever you could get there. I will be very excited to see all your faces there, so.
Okay.
The next item is, I received a check just a few minutes ago from Sharon Neckstrom, a member, and I assume this is to go towards the books?
Yeah.
This is a $500 check, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So this money, even though we have the money, in fact, I received an email from Joe on Sick, I believe I'm saying his last name correctly, in regards to the budget, and I believe he sent it to Chad as well. It says, yes, MERF has $8,932.92 available to cover the cost of the children's books. So we've got the $4,000 check from Community Foundation. It doesn't say there specifically it's for the books, but it was written up as though it was to go towards books. So if we all agree that we've got the money to cover the 20,000 copies, I'd like to pursue that and try and get them in time for
Okay.
the sand
You were
sculpting.
given the go-ahead if we had the cash, so
So is that now, I can go ahead and print?
if that's what he said, yes. Chad, are you in agreement?
I haven't read the email, but it sounds good. Yeah, we're still operating under the same rules, yes.
Just wanted to make sure, because the general donation check for 4,000 didn't specify the books on the check. But I just needed to make sure we were all in agreement.
Right? And again, all I wanted to make sure is we didn't write a check. If he's got it, I'm fine.
Turn on your mic.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't write a check we couldn't catch.
Great.
Right.
So may I proceed with
Go ahead.
Can we
If he
move a
sa-
motion to do that? Since there was a motion that I had to wait for Chad to get that information.
I motion we order the books.
How many?
I motion we order the 20,000 books with the, where's the? A motion we order the 20,000 books with the $8,716.44.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
When would have a discussion?
Aye.
Can we have a discussion?
Oh, discussion.
I think the first part of this with Chad getting involved was to make sure that there's traceability to prudent financial management. How does this work with what we agreed to in the first part of this meeting?
Well,
Chad, I took in my head that Chad's going to go to make sure that everything is copacetic as far as financially.
Chad, do you have your
We'll have
phone
stuff
on?
in writing.
Do I have my phone on?
Do you have your phone with you? Because, can you check to see if you received the email?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll double check with Joe and I'll talk it over, make sure the procedure's fine, and I think everything's going to be, what's that word, copacetic?
Just looking for something that's prudent.
Did you receive that email?
Let's see. I went and got eyeglasses, so just excuse my
He's
cumbersome
getting to that age.
nature.
You can borrow mine, Chad.
John can
Just for
hold
the
it for
record,
you.
I need you to, if you
I
don't
know
mind.
Who do I
So
make it
Chad-
to the town or to MERF?
Chad and Jennifer, yes, Murph has $8,932.92 available to cover the cost of the children's books, assuming that Murph is allowing the use of the general donation check of $4,000 from the Fort Myers Beach Community Foundation to be used to fund the books. Thank you, Joe.
Okay. Super. Good
Joe
enough.
said good to go.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Am I
You're
next?
up.
I'm next,
Oh,
okay.
we done?
One more, no,
One more?
I have one more. Just thank you again for the check. You will need to make it out to, if you decide to, MRF, the town of Fort Myers Beach, MRF.
Oh, that's what you do.
And then down at the bottom, if you, whatever you're intending the money to go to. Okay? And thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Now, are you done now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I would just say that I've been doing the Calusa Waterkeepers course for the last year, and hopefully will soon graduate in January. But the Waterkeepers protect and restore 1,000 square miles in Florida. So they're very busy protecting and trying to show people if the numbers are wrong, how to correct. So it's a wonderful community, really. But in the last class we had, they recommended a book. And what we have talked about a lot is the Everglades. Florida has the Everglades is quite a huge area, actually, and it's an important area. And and in this book you find the actual history of the Calusas, of the Seminoles, how the white people have interfered with their lives and everything. But it's very interesting. So it's called The Swamp, written by Michael Grunwald, and I'd highly recommend it to understand the Everglades, the water. The water's everything in Florida. So that's my comment.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh,
Anything, Todd?
no, really have nothing to add, other than it's a pleasure to be here, get to know you folks, and I hope I can help out.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ed?
So, Dave, I was wondering if you could just take a minute and kind of give us an update or what transpired with the council meeting a month or so ago when you presented the MERF award and you asked them what their opinion was and if it was all right to use it, and just give us kind of an update, and then one of us may have a question or so.
Well, there was, actually, I presented the award, the MERF award, and they passed it and said they had no issues at all with using the FMB logo on it. Thought it was very stylish, and.
The Murph Award?
The MERF award.
On that plaque.
Holland Award?
No, the MERF award. That's what he's talking about, the MERF award. And it was kind of they passed it all, and they said, no, they have no objections, and I think, they said, do we need to have a motion? And I think the attorney said, no, if you're all in agreement, so, and maybe they did, I don't know, I can't go back, but they were very pleased with the appearance of the award, and said, go ahead and use it.
So, but there wasn't any objection as the award was presented to it being the MERF award.
I don't think we got into the Murph versus Murphy Award. I've always called it the Murph Award, but, you know,
So-
that's me.
It
That's
was
just-
just, it
the,
was just about the logo use, as I recall.
Yeah, if I can read
Okay.
the minutes.
So it's come to my attention, if you don't mind, I'd like to pass this out right quick to everyone. This
I'm
is
still
an email
confused.
between
Are we talking
myself,
about the Murphy Award or the Mulholland Award?
Murphy Award. So, you can just pass them down. I took it upon myself to email Amy Baker because there seemed to be some confusion or possibly controversy pertaining to the actual name of the award. And so I took it upon myself to email Amy Baker and to ask her for the minutes of any meetings or where it was determined or any votes or anything that where the award was actually discussed or the name of it discussed. And as you can tell by the email, there is nothing. There's nothing in the records, nothing in the minutes of any meetings. It's never been anything that's been voted on or that any motions have been made. So in an effort to try to clear up this confusion or controversy, I have no idea in the research that I've done where the award, how the name Murphy came up. The only thing I can think of is I do know at one time in years past that Ray Murphy was on the Murph committee. I'm not sure if he was ever the chairperson, but nonetheless, I mean, even if he was the chairperson, I don't know that the award would be named after him. I mean, we could call it the Nussbaum Award, you know.
No, we couldn't.
But anyway, that being said, we are the Murph Committee, and we present the award to the person that we feel that it's appropriate to be presented to for their efforts to help the environment and the wildlife. And so I would like to make it something that's official, where it's in the record, in the minutes, and something that's voted on. And so I would ask the committee today, I'm going to make a nomination that we decide that the name of the award, the monthly award, does reflect the name of the committee, or the abbreviation for the committee, and that going forward, that it is officially the Murph Award. If I can get a second on that?
I would second
You
that.
got a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion on the floor and seconded. Is there any discussion on it?
I'm just looking up the Murphy Award on AI Overview, and where they got the name is the Murphy Awards institutions such as the Jerry Murphy Prize in Australia. I believe that's maybe years ago, Murph decided to use that name. I don't know if that's in the minutes anywhere, but that would be difficult to find out. Maybe have to go back to an original member of Murph to find out.
Well, the records, anything that was officially decided or an official designation would have been in some records of some meeting somewhere. And Amy Baker has access to electronically to all of that information.
Yeah, I can tell you anecdotally, this goes back to 2019 or somewhere around there, and at the time, Mayor Murphy attended a condo association for Fort Myers Beach meeting, and I referred to it as the Murphy Award, and he corrected me and said it's the Murph Award, not Murphy. So
I'll send that-
if it
there you
came
go.
from Ray Murphy, I can tell you it was not named after Ray Murphy.
Exactly.
So that's all I can tell you about it. I've always referred to it as the Murph Award after being corrected by the mayor and saying, no, it's the Murph Award, not the Murphy Award. So,
I just feel it'd be appropriate to make the motion and have the vote, so we
Okay.
have it in the records
That's-
and it's in the minutes
Yep.
going forward.
any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of calling it the Murph Award, say aye. Aye.
Aye. But I can't, what if I accidentally call it Murphy? Just out of habit.
You're off the board.
It's, I'll have former Mayor Murphy call and correct you. How's that? All right, thank you. Motion carried. It is now officially in the minutes, the Murph Award. Thank you, everybody. Anything else, Mr. Root?
That's it.
Okay,
I have nothing this week.
okay. I have a couple of things.
Did we talk about what you wanted to earlier, Ed?
I'm sorry?
Did we talk about what you wanted to earlier when we pushed it to members' items? Did we discuss, was that what you wanted to?
No, this was.
Okay,
no,
just making sure.
Dave said we could do it during the comment.
Good, no, I was just making sure you got everything you want. All right.
Okay, and again, this kind of goes back to the now officially named Murph Award. First of all, Mr. Rood, we are going to be handing out several Murph Awards this coming year. So officially, I would like to ask you to please use part of the donation money and order a bunch of awards so that we can have them and hand them out.
Dave, how many, I've lost count. How many do you have left right now? Do you
Well,
have,
right now, I have 2 that are in my briefcase, and that's for the 2 individuals from FWC.
okay.
And I believe you have one that I gave to you that you were going to take to the council meeting, and if we could have that back, which is going to be, and so we had 3, and I think we're,
So you need one additional one for December to finish this year out?
yeah, and,
Okay.
and I'd like to get
Right, and then
several
the-
ordered for next year.
right,
So,
yeah.
so we're not sitting there waiting for them.
Right.
What about past awards?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay, good. Okay.
That was part of my second thing. I would like to get an approval, and I don't think, well, if we start going retroactive, we could go retroactive on awards going back for years, which I don't know if our budget or the contributions can hold that out. But there is one that I wanted to have the committee consider as a retroactive award, and that's going to, we did award the MERTF award to the operator at Tuna Skin for doing the beach cleanup earlier this year. And I thought since we now have an actual award that they could put in the shop, that we make an exception and go back on a retroactive basis and give the Tuna Skin Shop the award so that they could hang in there. And I do that from the selfish standpoint of it will be displayed in their shop. People go into their shop. It generates interest, and and it's something that helps promote the stewardship of the island. They're obviously going to talk about it, and I just thought if we could do that, and reaching back for that one award recipient with the permission of the committee, I think that would be a great bolster to us as far as getting the award out in the public eye.
Dave, let me ask you a question. The Mulholland Award is only it's an annual award, is that correct?
That is correct.
So in 2026, we just gave out the Mulholland Award this previous month, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I was thinking, and I meant to ask this at last month's meeting, but it slipped my mind before the meeting was over. So since we have the monthly, a small award, an inexpensive award for the MERTF award, would it be appropriate, do you think, to have one award for the Mulholland recipient that's maybe a little bit nicer and a little bit more expensive?
The award for the Mulholland recipient is there is a tree that will be in here somewhere.
Right.
And every leaf on the tree has the recipient's name and date of receiving the Mulholland Award. And it's a beautiful tree. It survived Ian. It's being cleaned and refurbished right now. And when they bring it back, what they do is they present the leaf to the recipient and a certificate that they get.
Okay.
But the leaf goes on the tree. And there's some pretty significant names on the tree. As soon as it gets back up, if you go and look, and it's got some of the real founders and people that literally helped build Fort Myers Beach.
But they do receive a plaque that
Oh,
they get to
absolutely.
take home?
Absolutely.
Okay, then that covers it.
I mean, this is the highest honor the town can bestow.
Okay.
So, bigger than the keys to the city. All right, so if everyone is okay with that, I don't know if we need a motion or not, but I would like to take it down and take one of the plaques and put it to Tuna Skin so they can display it in their store. Okay?
Do we need a motion or a vote? I mean, I think everyone's in agreement with it. I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. All right, I'll take it down. Thank you, everybody.
Do I bring the one I have next meeting, or do you want me
Yeah.
to drop it off here? or-
Yeah, just bring it next meeting.
Okay.
And then finally, Mr. Root, if you would give me the contact names from the FWC people so I can send them an official invite if they want to come and pick up their plaques here.
Well, Chad, they work here, don't they?
Push your button, sorry.
Doesn't Brianna work out of town hall or out of public works or something?
No, she is an employee of FWC.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So give me the contact information for both. I will send them an email and then ask them if they would like to come here and receive it or if they want us to send it out.
Chad, I have Brianna's email, but I do not have the other girl's
Do
able.
you have, is it Robin Cern you're talking
No.
about?
No,
Robin's gone.
no.
Yeah, I would maybe just, I don't have the other ladies'
So
name either, so
I'll
maybe just reach
email-
out to Bree and,
I'll reach out to Brianna and find out who the girl is that's helping her, and then I'll get the information back over to you.
Thank you. And that's all I had.
All right.
Okay. Staff update. Anything you've got, Chad?
yes, so we planted 75 royal palms. That was funded by a FDAX grant. Thank you, FDAX. Thank you to the congressman that made that grant available. We'll be sending out thank you letters for that, and FDAX staff will be coming over to Fort Myers Beach in a week or so to have a look at the trees, and we are planning on following up with some canopy trees to give some shade and color and canopy to bay oaks, as well as we are planning to, again, add some canopy to beach accesses, the sea grape trees, and some other native salt-tolerant dune trees, or salt-tolerant trees around the accesses and in the dunes, and again, kind of try and restore some canopy to our island and help shield some of that light that's just coming out. You know, it's helpful. Everybody in the Sunshine State loves some shade, so we want to get some more trees out here. News, this is a little bit more Anchorage associated, but we are a Marine, so U.S. Coast Guard gave us some positive news about the 6 mooring balls that have been out of service, and we're getting some positive feedback that we may be able to shift the ATONs that were a little bit out of alignment. They weren't necessarily on the turn elbows of the channel that is adjacent to the west mooring field in the town mooring field. So we're getting some positive feedback that may happen. I want to say sooner than later, but it takes a little bit of time. So we don't have a date on that yet. But again, getting some positive feedback. That's the best news we've gotten in years, literally. So we're very excited about that. I know Captain Kurt is our harbor master. Is very happy about that as well. Got some sea turtle stats, so if you'll forgive me for repeating Miss Rusk a little bit, but I just wanted to go through them. So this past 2025 nesting season, we had 113 loggerhead sea turtle nests, 317 false crawls, which they refer to as non-nesting emergences, 9,678 eggs laid. Of those, 3,843 were unhatched, and 5,646 were hatched. And of those hatched, 5,465 were live hatchlings. So that was about 56% of the total 9,678 eggs that were laid. We did have 82 of the 113 nests hatched. 29 nests that did hatch were disoriented by lights, which is That's a tough number. Having said that, that was the trend up and down the coast, and it's just a symptom of, again, we have a lot less structures, a lot less vegetation following literally years of devastating hurricanes. So, and then with whenever you're having build back and you're having construction and new construction, it's part of the build back, part of the kind of, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. So we're working with everybody. I always tell everybody I'm amazed by the community support for sea turtles. You don't see this in every community in Southwest Florida where we do have a lot of sea turtle compliant lighting. Unfortunately, it only takes 1 full spectrum light to negate all the amber lights that you have up. So, you know, even one, I've seen even 1 stair light that was on the old Wave, you know, I don't know if you'd call it an Airbnb or a hotel or whatever it was, but that multifamily Wave house that was kind of mid-beach, 1 little LED stair light, you know, a foot off the ground, and that caused a disorientation. So you can have the whole entire beach amber, and 1 light will basically negate that. So it is tough. And again, 29 nests were disoriented. Nobody was happy about that, especially Miss Eve. But again, that was a trend up and down the coast. So we're going to continue to work on that. We're working with property owners and contractors to help educate them. We'll get out some notices to contractors, and continue to fight the good fight. And I'm still a big believer in I'd rather tackle the problem as we're building back than rather trying to get it on the back end with enforcement. So hopefully we can get it on the front end as much as possible, and where we do make some missteps, just educate contractors and property owners that you know, this is what we need for our sea turtle conservation and help these hatchlings go the right way. So 113 nests and 317 non-nesting emergencies. And I just wanted to say, having said that this has been a down year, I don't want to be all negative. So it is the best year that we've had in the last 3 years. We only had 27 nests that hatched in 2024 and only 58 nests that hatched in 2023 with these hurricanes. So, you know, I'd rather be positive than all negative. So I'm trying. We also got an official certification of our beach from the well-regarded Michael Poff, our coastal engineer. I'm going to try and summarize it, so if you'll just bear with me as I read through it. So we on the North Beach, which would be Crescent Beach and north to Bowditch, they placed 200, they being Aetna, placed 284,000 cubic yards of sand on the inside the template. Total sand placed was 305,373 cubic yards. So that differential, so we only paid them for what went in the template. So we got some free sand there, quite a bit of free sand, about 20,000 cubic yards. And we also, on the north end, placed about 6,400 cubic yards of truck sand from Stewart Materials as a part of the Helene and Milton Cat G FEMA project to repair the damages that happened from those hurricanes. So there was a trough that formed after those hurricanes. It was very mucky and not nice. It kind of extended from the pipe that Aetna had and extended over to Bowditch. So we were able to use that volume to fill in that trough and make it a little bit more pleasant and tourist friendly and following those storms. On the Central Beach, we placed 299,922 cubic yards, And the total volume was 324,374 cubic yards. So again, we got about 25,000 cubic yards for free from Aetna. That, you know, that 25,000 was placed on the beach, but wasn't necessarily a template where they got paid for it. And on the South Beach, they placed 297,701 cubic yards, which was both pay and total volume. And that's because, you know, in the CWA, we only placed it further out. They didn't have much sand that went into the kind of like the upland property where the template wasn't there. So that was spot on between the pay and the total volume. So the total volume that was placed on Estero Island from that project was 927,448 cubic yards. So that was a great project. I'm glad we're done. Happy to see the beach. Approximately 160,000 plants and counting have been installed on the beach to date. So we're still going to be working on with Earth Balance to get some more plants out here and start getting these accesses planted.
Sorry, can you repeat the amount of plants that have been?
About 160,000, I think we're at to date. You're going to go out there and count them, or
I'm sorry?
are you going to go out there and count them?
No, I just for my records.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I have for now.
Okay, thank you, Chad.
You're welcome.
And by the way, congrats on getting on the project. That had to be just a killer for you for the last 2.5, 3 years. So,
Believe it or not, I enjoyed it. I really do. I love building projects, and one like that, I really did. I enjoyed it. Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor to be a part of it.
super. All right. On the, let's see, next on the agenda is public comment. And once again, everybody stuck around till the end, so there's no public comment. So moving right along, the MERTF Award. We have one in the bank from last month.
The hunky guys,
Mike,
I found their picture after the last meeting and now I can't find it, but I'll look for it. It's the, I believe it's called the Hunky
I
College.
believe it's college hunks with trucks.
Thank you, that's it. Yeah.
You knew that real quick.
I just, you know, maybe I'm a member, maybe I'm not.
yeah, maybe.
So just a recap, they were out there for our coastal cleanup and helped keep Lee County beautiful, and the Community Foundation, they came and picked up all the garbage off that people had gathered. And they did it with the kindness of their heart, and they, when I spoke to Keep Lee County Beautiful, they had said that they have been a real contributor to Lee County and to our area and helping with events like that.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations? Okay. I'll make a motion that the college hunks with a truck get the award.
I will second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And you can give them the award. If you can reach out to them, you could give them the award that you have. That means you don't have to give it back.
Oh, that's a good idea. Would it mean more for it to be presented by the chair
They can come here and they can
during
come.
the meeting?
if
Invite
they
them
want,
to a meeting?
If
Okay,
they'd like to.
to
and
next month's meeting.
Just so we have it on the agenda and we know they're coming, so we can recognize them.
Just to be precise, it's college hunks hauling junk. And I've lost my membership now.
Wait, can you repeat that one more time?
College hunks hauling junk.
Okay.
Now, do we still write articles? That's in previous years, that's what we did once a month. We would write an article and the town would put it out and certain people would pick it up and post it
Well,
or
what,
print it.
what we were doing before was sending it out to a specific publication, which we had a PIO officer that was hired into the town, which should actually be disseminating it. And we kind of lost track of that, but if the committee would like to restart the articles on the beach, I have no problems with that.
I believe it was Beach Observer that
Yes.
posted those? Okay, so,
I believe that I was the last one that did that. I don't think it's been done since. And then, I don't know where it went, but it would never was sent to the Observer or anything.
No, it was sent to the PIO officer, who
Okay.
was, supposed to disseminate the information to the publications.
Yeah.
That's their function.
Yeah, evidently that didn't end up happening, and I never saw anything about Sharon's either.
No,
Okay,
mine never
so
came up.
now that we're getting a new PIO officer, I would say that let's wait to see how the town is gonna go going forward, and we can reestablish, or restart the process once we reach out to the PIO officer and see what they wish to do. And you can resubmit,
I will resubmit.
but,
Okay.
okay, agenda for next meeting. Chad, you wanted to, by next meeting, you'll have hopefully some contact back from FDEP.
Yeah, I think Arbor Day update and 6,000 block beach management should carry over for sure.
Yep. Anything else? We could certainly add something, but,
One thing I forgot on my staff update, we also did renew or extend our FDEP permit for the 8,000 block. So that bird management plan was extended with FDEP while I'm thinking about it. So just an update that
well, maybe you
everything,
can bring that up at the next meeting and just go through what the plan is.
yes, everything's copacetic.
Okay.
Chad, let me ask you a quick question. The herbicide treatment on the south end of the island that they do in January, do we have to get permission from the council to do that each year? Or did the one that we got last year, when I presented it to the council, is that a blanket approval going forward?
Oh, I'm not sure if it's a blanket. It might just be like a pillow or, like a foot cover. I think while FWC is recommending it for shorebird conservation, what I've taken from council is if FWC is recommending it for shorebird conservation, we're okay with destroying dune vegetation. I think if it's not for shorebird management, that's where that blanket may be
Okay,
yanked.
I just wanted to clarify because the FWC did indicate to me last year that they had to have the town's approval, even though they had to have the town's approval because it was outside the critical wildlife area. And so
Yeah,
that was why I was asking the question.
Yeah, so we've talked to council before, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, so I generally just put it in cruise control. It's policy. If there's no complaints, then I assume everybody's happy with how things are going.
Yeah.
As I've stated in the past, I'm not a big fan of herbicides, but for the sake of shorebird conservation, if you've seen one of those birds hobbling around with the stickers in their legs, and then you see their cousins dead right next to them, you realize it's something that we needed to get under control. It was very successful this past year, so hopefully we're getting under control. I don't think anyone wants to put herbicide on the beach. you know, you see kids putting sand in their mouth and all that, and you kind of think maybe not a great idea, but right now I'm not hearing anything to the contrary.
I just
I-
wanted to
I
be
can
sure
tell you,
nothing
Emmett,
interrupted it.
The communication that I received from FWC said, to their knowledge, they didn't think we lost any fledglings in the critical wildlife area due to sand spurts, which compared to years past is an enormous boon for the birds and their survival rate. You know, because it pictures of the fledglings covered in sand spurs, and, you know, they were just
Right.
toast.
And people aren't getting sand spurs down at my end at all.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
wonderful, and they're
been
walking barefoot.
very successful, you know.
It's
and
great.
So I will also reach out to her, but I specifically said we're gonna have to look at herbicides on the beach, you know, going forward on the CWA, critical wildlife area. And I said, what was the result that you saw? And she sent a note back that said, we were very pleased with the results. So, and if we want to put that on the agenda for next month, just to be sure, we can, or just leave it on cruise control.
Yeah, my intent was just to make sure that nothing interfered with the program going forward.
No, we're good. We got our permit renewed, and I think we're good. Bree's happy. She did send in a report. I'll see maybe if she's available to come to a meeting or read that report. We got that in the last month as well, so it'd be nice to brag about those numbers. We're doing
That
a
would
great
be
job.
excellent.
Yep.
Okay. See if we could get her on in December. That'd be great.
Do we meet in December?
Yes.
Okay.
That's,
The 11th?
our meeting date is the second Wednesday
Oh, that's the 10th.
of the month.
Yep. That's the 10th of December.
I have a question for Chad.
Okay.
Are we
Okay.
back, are we back to Wednesdays again?
Yes, we're back to Wednesdays, second Wednesday of the month.
Okay, and the date was?
Hopefully, we'll stay put, unless Amy decides she wants to play games with us again. No offense, Amy, I'm just kidding. Okay, but it is on the 10th, at 10 o'clock,
Gotcha.
December 10th. Okay?
In regards to the agenda, I really like your idea of having a town nursery. And I would like to maybe continue that discussion, or have a discussion about the idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
super. All right. With that, it's 12:02, and I will accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I so moved.
Second?
Made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at now 12:03. Thank you, everybody.
Sir, for seeing